everybody. Today we're going to be doing a little project that involves all the tools that we just learned the safety about. So the first step on this, you can either start here at the planer, or you can go over to the joiner. We're going to start here at the planer. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that the planer is set at the right height. We're going to come like this, and we're going to see, we want it to just barely be touching those teeth. And then from there, you're normally going to want to turn on the dust collection, but I'm not going to turn on the dust collection for demonstration purposes. Up to half an inch right there. We're going to bring it up all the way to half an inch. So from there we brought this board down from 3/4 of an inch down to half an inch. That was using the planer. Now we're going to go head on over to the joiner and get our edge to be nice and straight. With this you want to make sure that you're using your push block and your push sticks, and you are just going to turn it on. And that's all you gotta do. If you hear any sort of weird little chipping sounds halfway through, it sounded like it cut a deeper groove, make sure you just run it right through again. From there, we're gonna come on over to the table saw. And on the table saw, we are going to move our fence down to 5 inches. Right here we can see, and we're gonna set it right there at 5 inches. And we want to make sure that the side that we jointed is the one that was on the bottom when we jointed it is the one that we're going to put right up against, tight against the fence. That way there's no gaps right there, and our piece is going to be perfectly parallel and perfectly square. So you're going to use this push stick. You're going to make sure you're applying pressure towards the fence and forward all at the same time, just like so. And then you're going to wait for the blade to come to a complete stop before you walk away or before you move the scrap piece. And the next step that we're going to do is we're going to be coming over to the chop saw. Just a second, I forgot a pencil. Don't cut. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do when we're on the chop saw is we want to square up our first edge. We don't just want to come here and measure the correct distance in the beginning, we want to square up the edge first. So we're going to come like this. We're going to just barely be cutting off a tiny, tiny bit like that. We're going to lock our board into place using this clamp over here. And then you want to make sure that your fingers are at least 6 inches away, and then you're going to make your cut. Just like that. From there, what you can do is you want to make sure you leave the same back edge against the fence so that all of your cuts turn out square. You're going to come in here, you're going to mark out 9 inches. Marked 9 inches. Then you are going to line up your saw, line it up right here. If you come on this side, you can see that it's right on the outside of that mark that I made. That way it ends up being 9 inches. You're gonna hold it down, lock your board in place, and then make the cut. So now this board should be exactly a ½ inch thick by 5 inches wide by 9 inches long, and that's how all of your boards should end up at this point. From here, we're going to come over here, and we're going to do a little bit of layout, and then we'll be cutting out the next shape. So here what I would like you to do is I would like you to start from one edge. I'd like you to mark 2½ inches at the top here, and 2½ inches at the bottom, and then you're going to draw a line that connects those 2 points that we just drew. You want to make sure it's nice and accurate. You cannot spend too much time here. So now we got that line just like that. What we would like to do next is we want to mark another 2½ inches down right here. Then we want to mark at 4½ inches, which is our midpoint because half of 9 is 4½. And then from here, we want to mark at 6½ inches. Actually, we just want to come back like from there. So 2½ inches from the back. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use our square, hold it tight against one of the edges, and then mark these like so. All right, that is our layout. What we're going to do next is we're going to take this template We're gonna take this template right here and we're going to trace it onto what we just marked out. We cut little grooves in the template so you can see how to line it up. You just wanna make sure that it lines up at the back and at the front nice and evenly. And then you will trace our template. Just like that. So this is what it should look like at this stage. From here, we're gonna come on over here to the bandsaw, and you are going to cut out that shape. And as you notice with this piece, I cut it on the outside of the line everywhere. That is so that now we can head on over to the sander and get it to be the exact right shape that we want. So the first one we're gonna go to is the disc sander to get our edges to be right where we want them to be. And again, you would turn on the dust collection for this machine, but for demonstration purposes and sound quality, we're not going to. All right, from here what we want to do is we want to come on over to the horizontal edge sander. This is just to get some of the sharper angles that we couldn't quite make perfect on the disc sander, just to be nice and smooth all the way around. All right, so that's what we should look like at this stage. Again, you would want to turn on the dust collection. This one's dust collection is located right here. You turn it on right there. That is where the dust collection is for that. What we're gonna go to now is we're gonna head on over to the drill press and drill a hole in our piece. We've used almost all the machines at this point. We only have about 2 left. So what we wanna do is the layout that we did earlier, we are going to make our hole right at that point right there. So we're gonna come right here. We're going to make sure that we can position our drill perfectly centered on that line. That's right where we're gonna want it to be. From there, we're gonna hold down our piece. We're going to move our clamp. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. See how skilled I am. Oh, bam, look at that. I adjusted the board a little bit, so I'm gonna go back and check. All right, yep, it's right in the right spot. Tighten up your clamp. And then you are gonna make sure your safety glasses are on. Start up the drill. And you will be able to hear it when it goes through down to your spoil board. So make sure that you do have a scrap piece of wood under here to prevent blowout on the back. Look at that, our piece turned out great. The last and final step, the next and final step, is we're heading on over to the router table. This one is actually kind of dangerous because the bit is exposed right here, so we're gonna make sure we keep our fingers far enough away. How you turn on this machine, it's already gonna be preset for you, so you don't have to worry about the height and all of that.
Push stick. The yellow one.
I'm not gonna have to use a push stick. You guys, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. All right, so you're gonna turn on the machine. Make sure your fingers are far back. I got that whole face right there. We'll flip it over to the back side. I got both sides. What we're going to do last is we're going to do the hole. We're going to very carefully set it on top. And we'll turn it off. And again, that time we did not have dyslexia. It is in fact counterclockwise. And that right there is the whole project.